Well, welcome into the Toby Foreman Show, Week 2. And Toby had a tough game down at Round Rock. They're a good team. I'll tell you what, have all over the field, offensively, defensively, special teams, coach very well. And you played well, but just couldn't come away with the victory, buddy.
No, and it was a one-possession game in the end. And anytime you lose a one-possession game, you can look back at almost a dozen plays in that game and say, man, if we'd just done this or done that. It comes down to the little bitty things, and I give them credit. We were up 7-0 at halftime, and Coach Moore and them guys came out and ran the opening kickoff back and did an excellent job of blocking because we had people in position. They blocked us, and we missed a tackle or two, and then they housed it, and we blocked the extra point, and we were still up, but just momentum kind of started to build at that point. And way too many penalties in that game. I think in my lifetime as a player or coach, I've never been a part of that many pre-snap penalties. I believe we had 11, and that's inexcusable, and that's 100% on me. So we've definitely emphasized that this week strongly. I'm just going to say that very, very firmly. We've emphasized pre-snap, what goes on. Let's make sure we get the play started correctly.
I walked up and there was about 20 kids out there in a three-point stance. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about something similar to that. That is correct. That is correct.
They've been out there for 20 minutes now, I know.
Well, what's crazy is at the end of the day, we still had an opportunity to win that ball game. But if you have that many penalties, I don't know if you really deserve to win the game. Turnover battle was even. So, we had one fumble. They had one. They threw an interception. And so it really wasn't that. It was kind of a ball control game. Special teams, even though they ran the kickback, I would say we may have won that battle because we actually we pinned them one time down there on punt, and then we blocked a field goal and an extra point. It was very evenly matched game. I do think though that kickoff return swung the momentum because their crowd was silent and they were silent up at that point, and that definitely got the spark lit.
Hey, you're walking into Searle Stadium, going to be at home Friday night. Last Friday night, there was a 5-overtime ball game over there. I don't know if there's any overtimes left on that field over there, but you've got a pretty tough opponent coming in from Monterrey, Mexico, brother.
Yeah, that's right. Nuevo Leon and UANL is what they go by. We played them when I was first here, and that was actually my first game ever. Shannon Hall had put them on the schedule, and they were still on the schedule when I took over, and they beat us by about 10 points. And they really got after us pretty good. I will tell you what they have is they play really hard. They have a lot of pride, and they have a really good offensive defensive line. And so, that's something we're going to be able to figure out how to kind of chip away at them on both sides of the fronts. But, make no mistake about it now. I'll tell our kids, they're not coming here driving 8 hours to get blown out, but I want no parts of 5 overtimes, I will tell you that. We want to win this thing in regulation, and we want to make sure that we're doing what we need to do, taking care of our business, getting better, from week to week. And I do believe we improve from the scrimmage to the game, and I believe that we'll improve a lot from week 1 to week 2. I was always told that the biggest improvement in your season is from that first scrimmage to about that second game. You improve a whole lot. Round Rock definitely exploited some of our weaknesses, and we've definitely worked on those weaknesses.
Yeah, I took a look at the stats. I got them a while ago, and they look pretty good.
Yeah, they scored 26 points on Temple last week, and Temple beat them, I believe, 41-27 or something like that, 42-26. Yeah. It was an unusual score, but so you gotta pack a lunch now. They're gonna call, like I said, they ain't drive 8 hours, to come get embarrassed, and so they're gonna give an unbelievable effort. And I wouldn't expect anything different. We want to get out of the game improved in all 3 phases and get out of the game healthy is what our goal is.
They're big usually. If I remember correctly, they're big on the offensive and defensive line, aren't they?
They are large. They have a left tackle, number 79, and I will tell you, Jose Hermosillo, he plays left tackle and right tackle. He's going to be about as good of an offensive lineman as you'll see. He's about... they got him listed as 6'4", 310, but he looks bigger than that, and he can move well. You can tell he's strong. They also got a tackle on the other side, Emiliano Salinas. both those guys, they try to run behind. They try to get the edge some, but they're really good this year at throwing the ball. They use 2 quarterbacks, number 5 and number 10. I don't know those guys' names, but 10 started and then 5 came out the bullpen. But they throw it probably 70% of the time, or they try to throw it. They'll be in all type of different cluster and empty and bunch and spread offense. And whereas before, when they came down here, they were running the ball RPOing, so it was a lot more ball control. There was 200 snaps in the Temple game last week, 200. And so that'll tell you how much the clock was stopping because of the passing game on both sides. Temple threw it a lot. I probably won't throw it that much, but like I said, those guys are well coached. I'm looking at them right now. They do a good job in the screen game, vertical passing game, intermediate passing game, quick game, the whole deal.
Yeah, your defensive coordinator's got to step up this week with the defense and make a stop if they got that versatile offense, huh?
Yeah, and Coach Locks does a good job. I mean, last week we gave up 2 scores on defense. That was it. And one of them was set up by me going for it on a 4th down and not getting it. So that's on me. But in reality, I thought we played good enough defense to win that game. It's my job to put the points up on the board, and we didn't do that last week. So that's got to be fixed. But you're right. Coach Locks will have a tough job. We've only got 1 film on these guys because, I guess they don't scrimmage over there. I don't know if there's anybody to scrimmage. So, we can't scout them. We're not going to drive 8.5 hours, go scout them, even if they were scrimmaging. So it does make it difficult. And, like I said, our expectation is always that we're as prepared as we can be. So I feel like just from this 1 film, we have prepared as best we can.
Well, I know you were working on 2 quarterbacks before. You working just on 1, or are we still working with 2?
We're still 2. We're going to try to name a starter for the Ellison game, a true starter. Malachi started the last one, but we just rotated quarters. So it was Malachi in the first, Wade in the second, Malachi in the third, and then Wade finished it. Now, there's other things they do. I mean, they all played a little bit in those quarters because there's situations that they get in. But it's a good problem to have now, having 2 quarterbacks. And like I said, we've got more than that. We just, at all levels, our quarterbacks are pretty good, actually. A JV quarterback, Damani Dale Addison, he does an outstanding job. We have a freshman quarterback, Gerard Hicks, is an A-team quarterback. Another young man named Maring is our B-team freshman quarterback. We've got JV B-team quarterback, Devin Jones. I mean, so the cupboard is definitely loaded at that quarterback position. I feel good about putting a lot of different guys out there and being able to win the ball game and move the ball because they understand our offense. Coach White's done a good job of coaching them up, and they all want to get on the field.
Speaking of Coach White, you said 2 of your coaches, one from ex-Ellison coach, of course, Ricardo, and then you sent out Elijah Wan. And it was a very entertaining show. I saw you tap in to watch for a little bit, but it was fun to have that hometown feel and the guys talking about when they were in school and back what happened, of course. And we did get around to talking about you.
I heard
and
that.
about that too. So.
I heard. Now I tapped in at the end. I was at the volleyball game. Volleyball team beat Granger last night. That was a big win for us. But I heard the end of it. It wasn't a whole lot of foolery. So I'm sure I missed some of it. I'll catch it on Saturday evening. That's normally when I watch the replay of your show.
Yeah.
But I thought they did a good job. They spoke well, and those guys understand the importance of the Killeen versus Ellison, the Kangaroo versus the Eagle matchup. That's the first original 2 teams in this town, the original 2 schools. So I think that's something that is a special game. Last year was an unbelievable game that went to overtime.
Yeah.
And I was at that thing because we played on a different night. So I would love to go see them this week, but we just, we can't. Harker Heights plays on Thursday, and then I think everybody else plays on Friday. So, but it'll be a good game. Coach Saller does a good job, and then so does, Coach Cervantes. And so our next opponent actually is Ellison. So we'll have, that film on Saturday morning, So, but anyways, we look forward to this opponent this week with Nuevo Leon. I respect their coaching staff and the effort their kids give year in and year out. And like I said, they're just looking for games. And at last year during realignment, I was looking for games too. And so we agreed to kind of rematch back up for 2 years, and we'll see how this goes.
Well, I've got to do a post-game interview with you after the game. Your 7:30 start?
7:30 tip-off is correct.
I'm going to haul my truck as fast as I can from Leo Buckley after the Ellison Killeen game and get out there. If not, I'm going to call you on the phone and find you.
Yeah.
And we'll just stop on the side of the road and we'll do the interview.
Come on over
or
here.
Or I'll come here
come
and
here.
do it.
Well, by the time we leave, you'll probably be able to get there because by the time we get out of that stadium, trust me, you will have made it over there. You're going to be the one vehicle that's going into the stadium.
I couldn't get in last week.
Really?
It was so packed that they didn't have room for any more cars.
5 overtime game.
Yeah.
5 overtime.
I got there about the 4th overtime and there was nobody leaving.
We were already to Florence when that game ended.
Yeah.
Because our game was quick. We ran the ball, they ran the ball.
Yeah.
I ran ISO 16 times in that game. That's the most I've ever called ISO probably in the 8 years I've been here. But when you got a 6'7", 255-pound tight end, you run ISO. Yeah. I don't think their linebackers appreciate it, but we were moving the ball. And let me give kudos to some of the guys last week. Player of the week on offense was Javion Clater. I mean, he did an outstanding job of running the ball, and he was patient with it, ran behind his blocking. Up front, O-line wise, we had of course, our O-line of the week was Isaiah Butler Tanner, who's not even a lineman, but he did that good of a job blocking. He got the big block award that goes to the receivers. So I told the receivers and O-line, that dude's taking all the awards from him. He did an outstanding job. Only caught one ball. I mean, we didn't throw it a whole lot short. We were slinging it vertically, trying to stretch the field. But Xavier Watkins did a good job up front. We had some guys that really stepped up and did an outstanding job on offense, and then, like I said, defensively, a lot of guys defensively. Trayvon Woodley, Dante Cuthbert. There were some guys that made some unbelievable plays up front of containing them and really containing them from making. I don't think they had one play over 20 yards, maybe one on a penalty-free play where they threw a ball. But other than that, it's hard to keep a team in 2024 to only one big play or explosive play or whatever you call it. But defensively, like I said, we really did do a good job. And I'm going to give a shout-out to my little senior kicker. This is his first year of playing football, Noah Soto. He did an outstanding. He was 2 for 2. And also Joshua Navarez Torres, he kicked off for us. Both those guys have come back in our program from soccer, and we're extremely pleased to have them. So, down the road, those kicks are going to make a difference. Even though they didn't the other night, they almost did,
Well, we'll be, hopefully I'll get out there to see. If not, I'm going to find you, like I said.
Yes, sir.
But as always, I wish you good luck, brother.
Yes, sir. And as always, we appreciate you. Fans, come out and enjoy it on Friday night. I know we're not the only game in town, but we are the Shoemaker Grey Wolves. And on that note, go Grey Wolves.
You are watching I-14 Sports Network.